Hey there, you're listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion. Here's your host, RJ Carbone.
And a high drive in the left center field. Stanley's going to watch another one fly. Are you kidding me? DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Knicks take a one.
Time to apologize to absolutely nobody.
At the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! Mr. Nova. Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down and the game is tied.
Rose, you shook up the world again.
I did it again. My God did it, man. I really just had
Gonna have to. Bronson running away. Oh my! He has been the best player to put on that uniform.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
All right. Well, excuse me. Hello, everybody. Let's talk Yankees Nationals. I don't know, man. What really is there to say about this series? The Yanks swept the Washington Nationals, the defending champions from 2019. So there was that. There was that. They won 3 against the defending champions from 2019. They've now won 11 of 15. It's a .733 win percentage in the last half a month. Probably about to be 12 of 16 as I am currently recording this podcast in the middle of Yankees-White Sox Game 1. But the Yankees are winning. They've been winning. They're back on track in terms of just being able to string together consistency. Obviously, the vibes are still down despite the winning because where is the winning coming, right? The winning is not coming from top teams in the league, and we're basically going to talk a whole lot about that in this episode. But yeah, last series we played the Boston Red Sox, and I recorded the episode halfway through the third game of the series. It was a 4-game set because it's just like they can't beat them. And since we did that, we never got to tip our cap to the Yankees, who deserved it. Not that anybody did, but Jazz Chisholm was the best position player of that series. Carlos Rodon, best starter. Williams, best in relief. We tip our cap to those 3 guys from the Red Sox series. But the Yankees play the Nationals last weekend, or this week, sorry, and they won 3 in a row against them. They swept them in New York City. Monday was the first game of the series, 10-5 win for the Yanks. The righty Schlittler took on the righty Lord. The Yanks got 7 runs on Lord in 4 in the third. Bottom of the first inning, Bellinger sac fly to the right center field gap. Ben Rice went 435 feet to the pull side in the third inning. Aaron Judge with an RBI double in the 5th, along with a Bellinger 2-run single, and Jazz Chisholm with a nice 2-run blast in the 5th inning as well to make it 7-0. And then against the National bullpen, the Yankees got 3 more runs in 3 2/3. It was Jason Dominguez in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 3-run home run to right field off Henry. 10 runs in total for the Yankees in this game. 12 hits, 5 extra base hits, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. They go 3 of 12 with runners in scoring position. Grisham goes 2 for 4. He was hit by a pitch, so he was on base all night, as was Ben Rice, who was 1 for 3, homer, 2 walks, RBI. Judge 1 for 4, double, walk, RBI. Bellinger 2 for 3, a sac fly, and 3 RBIs. Jazz goes 1 for 3 with the home run, a walk, and 2 RBIs. Goldie goes 2 for 4 with a double. Dominguez goes 1 for 4 with the home run and the 3 RBIs. And then McMahon and Caballero go 1 for 4. The bullpen in this game, 3 innings, 5 runs. Miguel De Los Santos gets the 7th, 8th, and 9th because the Yankees wanted to use him before they sent him back down. And he looked really good to start. Like that splitter, that change-up, split change, whatever you want to call it. That splitter was working exceptionally in the early innings. But then, again, he came back out there for a 3rd inning. In the 9th inning there, a nightmare. A bunch of walks, some hits, damage. And he finishes because Leiter couldn't hold it. 2 2/3, 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a double play. Because Leiter comes in, since it was taking Yeri forever to get the final out, which he couldn't record, and then Leiter gives up that grand slam to make it 10-5. It was at one point 10-0. But he ended up striking out a batter to get the final out. So the Yankees do get out of that. Go back to the first 6 innings of the game. Cam Schlittler was on the mound, and I believe he was the best Yankee starter of the series. So we're going to tip our cap to the right-handed rookie for the 4th time this year. Cam Schlittler in this game, 6 innings, no runs scored, 4 hits, 3 walks. I'm out of focus, so I'm going to try to fix that. 1 second here. There we go. 8 strikeouts, 96 pitches, and he gets the win. Another gem. His ERA has now lowered to 2.76 across 8 starts on the season for Cam Schlittler. He's gone at least 5 innings with 2 runs or less allowed in 6 of those 8 starts. Yes, this was the Nationals, but he has done it against some good hitting lineups. He's done it, with some decent performances against Toronto, against Houston. But did the job that he was supposed to do. I love that he's throwing strikes because being a guy who throws hard, to have a guy who can also throw it in the zone and stay consistently ahead in counts is a big deal. That allows him to go deeper into games, and that's why he got the 6 innings. Yes, he walked 3 guys, but he was throwing strikes. That 4-seam fastball just remains electric. That is his number 1 weapon. Averages 98 miles an hour with cut and ride. It's got life on it. And we're talking about a kid this kid wasn't throwing that hard down below. This is a 7th round pick who is throwing 90 miles an hour in low A ball. He's added 8 miles an hour on average. We're seeing him top out at 101. Like, he's touching triple digits in big league ball just 2 years later after he was throwing 90. He gets James Wood to strike out looking on a 101 mile an hour fastball inside the zone. And he's getting swing and misses on that 4-seam because it's just got so much life to it. He got Dylan Cruz to strike out twice swinging on that 4-seam going top of the zone. He went 4-seam up and out to Paul DeYoung for a strikeout swinging, and then he's, learning how to use his secondaries. That slider, I believe that slider that he used to throw is now registering as a hard cutter. It's showing up as a cutter. That's why you're seeing slider less, but it's very effective. It's a 91 miles an hour pitch with excellent glove side break, good drop. So he's using that to both sides of the plate. He can locate it, right? Top of the 5th inning, Jacob Young strikes out looking. It's a cutter on the outer edge of the plate. He's able to tunnel it well, sequence it well. For one of those Dylan Cruz strikeouts, he tunneled the cutter with the 4-seam fastball. Just beautiful sequencing. And then you talk about, we always talk about how he's going to get lefties out. That curveball is getting better and better by the start. It's been getting some really good depth. It's got a lot of shape to it. And that's going to help him get lefties out. He can locate it well, drop it in for called strikes, right? Top of the 4th inning, Luis Garcia strikes out swinging on a front hip curveball. He gets a decent amount of swing and misses with it. He'll play it very nicely off the 4-seam and vice versa. So that's another pitch. Really good tunneling. Just knows how to sequence his pitches. Top of the 3rd inning, James Wood strikes out swinging. Curveball. He goes 3 straight 4-seam fastballs low and away. Curveball in a very similar spot. So obviously he still needs some time for development. There is room to improve. I still want to see one more pitch that breaks away from lefties. Maybe you tap into the sinker more. Do the Yankees get him to use that 1-seam sinker like they've got a lot of their guys doing, Rodon and Fried? Or is it going to be more of a traditional 2-seam fastball? I want to see how he's throwing that pitch because he doesn't throw it a lot. Does he develop a changeup over the wintertime? Something soft that goes the other way on lefties, you know? But if this kid has the stuff, man, and if he becomes a frontline arm in the future, which I believe he can be if he's healthy, that is, I saw someone say on Twitter, that is franchise altering. It really is. You know, with Garrett Cole probably never going to be the same. You know, with Carlos Rodon on the wrong side of 30. Max Fried, I know he's got a big contract, but you got a guy who's got strikeout stuff, legitimate strikeout stuff. And he's already in conversations about being the Yankees' Game 3 starter in October. Maybe even Game 2 if you want to split up the lefties. But, like, that's how good he's been. You know, so definitely tipping our cap to Cam Schlittler for the 4th time already this year for getting that win in the first game on Monday. On Tuesday, the Yankees win 5-1 over the Nats. The righty Heel versus the righty Gore. The Yankees got 3 runs on Gore in 5 innings. Bottom 3, they were down 1-0. And as I'm recording, Trent Grisham just went deep for another one. So it's, what is it, 9-4 Yanks? Jesus Christ. Stanton with a bases clearing double off the left field wall. That makes it 3-1 Yanks after 3. And then against the Washington bullpen, they got 2 more in 3 innings. It was Giancarlo Stanton again. Bottom 6, a 451-foot 2-run bomb off Rebalta to make it 5-1. You watch that at bat again. It was beautiful baseball by Giancarlo. Rebalta had no shot. He had no chance. Once Stanton started spoiling everything and just being on everything, fouling it back, Rebalta was done. He was spitting on some pitches. That 2-2 take where he spit on that sinker coming in was all you needed to really see. He then, after that, he goes down and gets that slider on the next pitch, punishes it 450 feet, and there goes Stanton. With his 5th RBI. So Yankees get 5 runs, 6 hits, 4 extra base hits, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts, and they go 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Didn't matter. Bellinger 2 for 3, double, walk, an outfield assist. Stanton 2 for 3, a double, a home run, 5 RBIs. Goldschmidt 1 for 5 with a double. Caballero walk, stolen base, and McMahon 0 for 1 with a walk. Luis Heel took the mound in this one. Goes 5 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, gets the win. It was more of the same. You know, since he's been back, it's been a bunch of these kinds of outings where he's not good, but didn't kill the team. You know, the only run that he allowed, top of the 3rd inning, where Bellinger got lazy on a ground ball to the outfield. That was it. But, you know, it just, command and velo remain an issue for him. He had 4 walks in this game. He threw 92 pitches in just 5 innings. You know, top of the 4th inning, Dylan Cruz, he issues a 1-out walk to him. He was ahead 0-2 in the count to him, and then he goes 4 consecutive off speed. You've got 97, 98 in your back pocket. I think that's a ridiculous formula to attack him with. Use your fastball. And then 2 at-bats later, you got the number 8 hitter up, Robert Hassel III, a 5-pitch walk to him. The first 4 pitches were all off speed. Again, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, I don't know if he was injured because the Yankees did have to take a little bit of a mound visit and talk to him about that. The velocity was a bit down again. But, you know, maybe it was that. But, like, Are the Yankees telling their guys to go less fastball because that's the analytical way? I don't know, but I just feel like the walks keep piling up. And for a pitching staff that gives up a fair share of home runs, you got to stop walking guys and you got to start being more aggressive, especially the guys like Luis Seal who've got that fastball. The bullpen goes 4 innings, no runs. They were good. Cruz gets the 6th. We'll talk more on him in a second. Hill gets the 6th and 7th. Goes 1 1/3, no runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, gets the hold. Camilo Doval got the 8th, and it was nice to see him pitch well. 8th inning for him. He goes 1 inning, no runs, no base runners, and he strikes out 2 batters. So that was good to see. I needed to see that from him. The sinker was working. The cutter and the slider were playing off of each other nicely. The velocity was there. It's all about command and control with Camilo Doval, right? He's super, super talented. And this is what we need. This is what we need to see consistently. I think when people give Camilo Doval shit, I think it's a little wild. People need to be able to differentiate. People need to be able to separate a bad stretch versus a bad player. Like, you could be a good player not pitching well. That's who Camilo Doval is. He's just not pitching well so far. But I think he's going to be okay in the long run. He's too talented of a pitcher, and the Yankees have a good coaching staff among their pitchers. So he got the 8th. Bednar got the 9th. 2 strikeouts. Nobody on base for him. No runs allowed, 1 inning. So that was good. But real quick, to go back to Fernando Cruz, first in relief. Returned from the DL for the first time on Tuesday. Looked great. A little rusty. Put a couple of guys on, hit a batter, a couple of hits. But the forkball splitter looking excellent. Picked up 2 more strikeouts with that pitch. That's been his best pitch all year. It gets a ton of strikeouts. I think his K rate on that split is like just below 60%, which is absurd. So we're going to tip our cap to Fernando Cruz for the 6th time this year. He's big to this bullpen. That is a big piece the Yankees didn't have for months. I called him the best reliever on the staff when he was healthy. The guy can get a swing and miss better than anybody in baseball. So you can have him to put into the back end of that bullpen as one of the first guys coming out of the pen, rather, to help you get to the back. God damn, man. That's a big way to shorten the game to have Fernando Cruz like that. So good to see him pitch like that. He also pitched tonight, looked good. He had those coming off the mound. He had some interesting facial expressions. In the dugout, you love to see the passion. So the guy's fun to watch. But, Fernando Cruz, we tip our cap again for the 6th time to him. Wednesday, the final game of the set. Yanks get the 11-2 win. Fried versus Cavalli, a lefty on righty. Max Fried, 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, no home runs allowed, 94 pitches in the win. So another strong outing for Max Fried. He's been really good in his last 2 starts. Is he back? Hopefully he's back. Maybe it was just some regression to the mean, right? He was never a 1.90 ERA guy. Now he's got the numbers back to where they usually are. And he's diving into that sinker a little more, that one-seamer. He's getting a lot of weak ground balls, and that's how he pitches. So good for Max Fried. Some guy Blackburn pitched after him. 2 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, a homer. Nobody cares. But the Yankee bats, 8 runs against Cavalli in 2 1/3, and then against the Washington Pen, 3 runs and 5 2/3. First inning, Grisham with a leadoff home run. Bottom 3, the Yankees erupt for 9 runs, and they hit 4 homers in the inning. Judge, Bellinger, McMahon, and Rice, they all go deep. Dominguez picks up 2 hits in the inning alone. And then bottom 4 to make it 11-0, Wells solo home run. So Wells goes 1 for 3 with the homer, also reached via catcher's interference. Grisham 1 for 5 with the home run. Rice goes 3 for 5. Judge 2 for 4 with the home run, hit by pitch, 2 RBIs. Bellinger goes 3 for 4 with a walk and an RBI. Jazz goes 0 for 2, 3 walks and a stolen base. Dominguez 2 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs. Wells 1 for 3. I already said that. McMahon 1 for 4. Had the home run, 3 RBIs, and Volpe goes 0 for 5. Now, that's kind of where I want to start. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Anthony Volpe because it's been a rough stretch for him. And we're going to do exactly that when we return from break. Talk for a couple of minutes about Anthony Volpe here. Stay with us.
Quick break here, guys. Stay connected with BD4 on social media. Follow us on Instagram and X at BD4Pod and find us on Facebook by searching BD4. Don't miss out. Join the conversation. Want more BD4? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss an episode. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and share with your fellow fans. Don't forget to ring that bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops. Love BD4 but don't have the time to sit down and watch? Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you never miss an episode. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a 5-star rating and a quick review. It helps us grow and keeps the conversation going. Want everything BD4 in one place? Head to our website at bd4blog.com. You'll find links to every podcast platform, social media, and even our blog, where we dive deeper into all things BD4. Check it out now and stay connected.
All right. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Episode 896, the Yankees sweep the big, scary Nationals. Anthony Volpe has been struggling, man. And the discourse has gotten very loud. You know, it's become, we're 3 seasons in. Nothing has changed. The bat remains bad. The shortstop has dropped off. Entering tonight, before he had a productive game against Chicago, he was on an 0 for 24 skid, a 1 for 37 skid, which is an 0.27 batting average, and a 4 for 54 skid. That's an 0.74 average. It's been really freaking bad. The Yankees, teased everybody. You know, they gave Volpe 2 consecutive days off to play Jose Caballero as the starting shortstop. First of all, it's insane. That was the first time in his entire career Volpe sat consecutive games. Even more insane is Caballero produced in those 2 games, and then Boone said immediately after the second game that Volpe is going to remain the everyday shortstop and get his reps. I don't think you can continue to start him. Caballero has come here and he's hit and he's running and he's fielding. He had a stolen base the other day when the pitcher wasn't even throwing yet. You made the trade to have somebody in case Volpe isn't doing the job. And we are, 80-something% of the way through the year here. It's about to be September. What are we doing? He's not done the job for his 3rd consecutive year. And the Yankees making these comments, it's just been delusional. You don't have to throw the guy under the bus, but don't sit here and tell us it's raining. Every night, Boone's making comments. Oh, he's fine. The comment he made yesterday, they talked about him going on this 454 stretch. Oh, well, he's hit the ball hard here. He had an out here. He's just talking about hard hit outs. You don't do that with someone like Anthony Volpe. Because you go on Volpe's StatCast, it's not like the underlying metrics are saying that he's got to turn it around. Everything is blue, except for chase rate. It's not good. Soft contact, swinging and missing. It's not happening. It's not happening, and I feel bad for the kid. Because you've got Boone making excuses, because you've got James Rosen, the hitting coach, even making comments on it that just don't look good. And I keep thinking back to that Cashman exit interview last year when he got into it with the New York media, and I think Joel Sherman talking about how, like, oh, well, hey, when next year Volpe's killing it and he's raking it, I'm going to look back to well, guess what, Cashman? We told you so. And again, they're doing the kid no favors here. I feel bad for the kid. It's unfair to him. He's a nice, respectful kid. He's a reserved kid. He's nice. He's humble. Like, this is not respectful to him. It's not. It's not player friendly. He's a utility backup player. It's what he is. He might be a minor league player, but if you're going to keep him up here, it shouldn't be a starter because you're telling them, hey, you're the everyday shortstop. And every day you're talking to the media, he's great. He's great. He's going to be great. He's just one hot streak away from this. Like, I just don't think it's fair to the kid. I don't think he should be playing every single day. But for some reason, the Yankees treat this kid differently. He's the coach's kid than they do their other prospects, right? Dominguez would never get this kind of treatment. We see how they treat Dominguez. Anybody else gets a different type of treatment. But Anthony Volpe, for some reason, and I've got conspiracies on it that I've said on the podcast before that we won't get into right now, is their golden boy. So I just feel bad for the kid because they are just making it worse. They're making it worse, guys. Anyways, there are some good things going on. The Yankee lefties continue to rake. They're raking. It's such a positive to have so many above average hitting lefties. That's such a good thing to have for October. Like, obviously you have all these lefties to abuse the short porch in right field, but you're going to win so many matchup games versus elite right-handed pitching now. Whether it's starting pitching or going to lefties off the bench versus relief pitching late in games when you need a big hit. Like, to have all these guys that they have producing, at a level that they're producing at, like Jazz Chisholm, super dynamic player. Kind of reminds me of Alfonso Soriano. Just like speed and power, which is perfect for the modern game. He's having a season which is probably going to fall just short of 30-30, but I wouldn't be shocked if he got to 30-30 now. Yeah, he's got 26 homers now because he hit one tonight. So, closing in on a 30-30 season. As a Yankee, he's super, super close to being a 40-40 player in less than 150 games, which is cool. So, he's just become one of the best second basemen in baseball. This season, entering tonight, a 129 WRC plus, 823 OPS entering tonight. So, a lot of the same from him, but also like improvements. Like, he's not chasing as much this year, which has led to a career best walk rate. His chase rate is 61st percentile. It's much better. His walk rate, he ranks in the 84th percentile. But he's got elite power for a guy of his stature. 25 home runs and a 486 slug. Again, entering tonight where he hit another one. Been barreling the baseball this year, 94th percentile there. Great on the bases, right? He's always advancing extra bags off of base hits, forcing unnecessary throws, taking advantage of bad defense. He's got 23 stolen bases. He's 91st percentile in base running value, +4 above average there. The glove's been excellent. He's getting the balls, making good throws. Will overthrow one here and there, but he's making good stops using his range and his athleticism. Just picked up another hit as I'm speaking about him. 88th percentile in outs above average, +4. That includes when he was struggling at third base. So Grisham's been such a surprise. He wasn't utilized at all last year. They never used him. And shout out to my guy, Rob Dobeck, who's been on the show as a big Yankees fan. Called this out. He said Grisham's due for a breakout year. I kind of laughed at it. I was like, I don't know, man. It's got a career best 824 OPS. And again, that's gone up after tonight. But to have someone like Grisham doing what he's doing makes somebody like Jason Dominguez a bit expendable, at least for this year, because you don't have to suffer through his rookie inconsistencies on both ends. It's okay. He's not cutting it right now. Let's just play Grisham, who's been pretty good in center field, especially going back on balls, tracking them. But it's the offense, right? It's the discipline at the leadoff spot. Very old school, where he's getting on base. 353 OBP entering tonight. He's 100th percentile in chase rate, which has helped him to a walk rate that's in the 93rd percentile. So the guy knows how to take a pitch. And he's got the new school power at the top of the lineup, right? He's barreling balls consistently, 85th percentile there. He's hitting homers and slugging. After tonight, he has 27 home runs. His slugging percentage, I think, is in the 480s. They got this guy in the Juan Soto deal. So they still got value out of that Soto deal. People think the Yankees lost that deal significantly. No, like, they got this guy who's going to make himself some good money in the winter. Probably not with the Yankees, but yeah. The Yankee lefties have hit. Even Dominguez from the left side of the plate. 276 average, 777 OPS. Ben Rice. Awesome. Talk about lefties who are hitting. Ben Rice has quietly become the Yankees' second best bat. Or I guess third best behind Stanton. Right, Judge, Stanton, Rice. And again, this is after he had a big night tonight. But entering tonight, 246 average, 342 OBP, 497 slug, 839 OPS, 22 home runs, 46 walks, a 133 WRC plus. One of the most productive first basemen in Major League Baseball. This is a rookie we're talking about doing this. I look on Ben Rice's StatCast page. It's the only Baseball Savant page that I've seen where everything is above average. I mean, we're talking expected numbers. They're all red. Hard hit numbers are super above average. The chase rate and the whiff numbers and the K rate above average. Everything there is above average, not an exaggeration, offensively. To have lefty power from a rookie first baseman / catcher, that's massive. A kid like him, so big, hits it this hard, pulls the ball in the air at Yankee Stadium. Big time. It's big time power, man. The Yankees are really good at crafting their lefties to swing like they do at Yankee Stadium. So, Bellinger, how about him? And we're going to tip our cap to Cody Bellinger for the 5th time this year. He had himself a hell of a series. And again, he had a big night tonight as I'm speaking. But in this Washington series, he goes 7 for 10. It's a 700 average. Hits a double, a home run. He has 2 RBIs, or 1 RBI, 2 walks. Made a bad defensive lapse, but he followed that by making a good defensive play. But he's bringing left-handed power. Got the perfect swing for this ballpark. He's pulling the ball in the air. 25 homers, 501 slug entering tonight. Also has a great approach with 2 strikes, right? He shortens up. He spoils pitches that are just outside the zone. So he doesn't just hit for home run power, but he's also been a good contact hitter. He's 84th percentile in whiff rate. He's 92nd percentile in K rate this year. That's that 2-strike approach that he's bringing. He's been outstanding in the outfield, wherever he's asked to play. Occasionally first base too, but he's done it with really good efficiency. Speed, range, arm, glove. And he can hit left-handed pitching really well, despite being a left-handed hitter. He's got a 1027 OPS against lefties this year. That's the 4th best among qualified hitters. He's been an excellent replacement for Juan Soto. And this is a guy you gave Cody Poteet away for. Obviously, you're taking on Bellinger's contract this year and maybe next year, but He's probably going to opt out because he's a Boris client, but that's a conversation for a different day. Kyle Tucker, all that stuff. But Cody Bellinger's been awesome. The Yankee lefties have been great. It's a terrifying lineup. It is. Did they feast on the Nationals in this series? Yeah, of course. No shit. Are they doing the same thing to the Sox tonight? Yeah, the White Sox. No shit. Okay, they're beating up on bad teams. But first of all, let me just say, Mackenzie Gore, tough young arm, great curveball. Brad Lord, decent pitcher, decent velo, great life on his fastball, good changeup. They're not nobodies. But I get it. Have the Yankees been shut down by some top flight starters when they have their best stuff going? Sure. Crochet, Edward Cabrera, Nathan Eovaldi, Joe Ryan shut them down not long ago. Yuri Perez shut them down. Right? There's a list that probably gets even longer. But they've gotten to some really tough pitching. Framber Valdez, Sonny Gray, Shane Baz, Dustin May, Lucas Giolito, some really good relief pitchers that they've hit. But it's, I get it. I do. Overall, I do think it's gotten to be a bit extreme when people rag on this lineup, like saying they only hit bad pitching. You don't get to be a top 3 offense in numerous categories feasting on only shit pitching like people want to make it seem. Like you can maybe get to top 15, top 10 offense, but you're not going to have a top 3 lineup in all the major categories only feasting on bad pitching. Of course, they're not as great against elite pitching because no elite lineup, no bad lineup, no good lineup, no lineup is as good as they are against bad pitching, against medium pitching, than they are against good pitching. That's how everybody works. They're less effective against the best. I would love to see where the Yankees rank in comparison to other contenders against elite pitching. That's something I'd like to see. How the Yankees rank against, guys with a sub-something ERA or guys, I don't know how you really categorize it, but I did see on Twitter a stat, the Yankees line up against 500 teams or better, best OPS in baseball. Boston's 10th, the Dodgers are 14th, the Jays are 17th. So, if you like that stat. But all I'm saying is going into the postseason with Judge and Stanton and Rice and Grisham and Jazz and Bellinger, I'm super confident in this lineup. The guys I just named there, those 6 guys, all have a WRC plus of 128 or better entering tonight. And you got solid contributors in Goldie and Dominguez. You got a solid bench with, you're so deep that you've got 2 starters coming off the bench every night in these drag and drop situations for these matchup advantages. That's going to be tremendous for the playoffs. You got a guy like Rosario, who's a right-handed bat, to come off the bench. Been hitting. Caballero, another righty who's been doing everything for you. It's a good lineup, man. Again, does beating bad teams matter? You could beat Washington, Minnesota, all these minor league teams. Everyone's saying it doesn't really matter if you can't beat top competition, if you can't beat Boston. I don't exactly agree with that. I don't think the results of regular season matchups indicate postseason success. I don't know. I'm a big Knicks fan, right? The Knicks spent all season last year taking the same exact shit from the fans and the media about not beating contenders, right? The Knicks lost to Cleveland all 4 times they played them. They lost to a solid Clippers team both times. They lost to the Lakers both times. They were blown out by OKC both times. And of course, just like the Yankees against the Red Sox, the Knicks lost to the Boston Celtics all 4 times, and the games were never close in the regular season. They were murdered by them. But what happened in the postseason? The Cavs were an easy exit. The Knicks beat Boston in 6 games, and they were in total control the entire series. So the postseason's a different animal. The games mean something. Rosters are better. Stakes are higher. Regular season stakes don't compare to postseason stakes. Teams have to prepare. They have time to prepare. They have time to get hot. Playoffs can be a crapshoot if you have a good enough postseason roster, which the Yankees have one of the best on paper. So I'm not saying I think the Yankees are suddenly going to win it all again, or suddenly going to win it all just because they beat Washington. But I am saying games against the Nationals essentially mean the same as games against the Red Sox at the end of the day, obviously division points aside. Because ultimately, I think I'm just trying to watch the Yankees at the same time. Listen, ultimately, I think the Yankees' downfall this year is not going to be because they couldn't beat certain teams in the regular season. But I do think their ultimate downfall is going to be the meltdowns they have in big spots, just like last year in the World Series, right? Bullpen implosions, game 1. Defensive miscues, game 5. Base running mistakes, fundamental shit like that. I don't think the Yankees' downfall is going to be because they couldn't beat Boston in exhibition games in August, right? But I think teams like Boston, for example, do things that put pressure on the Yankees to make those defensive mistakes. They put the ball in play and they run, which will force the Yankees to run, field, throw, and catch. So I think that has credence to it. I think that's why they struggle against them, and I think that's why they could struggle against them if they face them in the postseason. It's not so much what I'm trying to say here. I know I'm rambling. It's not the results that I'm worried about like everybody else. It's the actions during these games. So, anyways, the Yankees beat the Nationals 3 out of 3. They sweep them. 4 games against Chicago. They just took the first game tonight. This game just concluded. The Yankees won 10-4, I think it was. So we'll see the rest of the series play out. Yanks keep winning. Boston keeps winning because they play bad teams. Toronto was off tonight, so the Yankees gained half a game there. But that's it for this episode. Let's get to our trivia question to wrap this one up, and that'll be it. Let's get to it right now. I don't know if this is... All right. This is the right one. True or false? Alfonso Soriano played 7 seasons with the Yankees, but his highest single-season home run total came with the Nationals. Is that true or false? Alfonso Soriano played 7 seasons with the Yankees, but his highest single-season home run total came with the Nationals. True or false? One final time. Alfonso Soriano played 7 seasons with the Yankees, but his highest home run total in a single season came with the Nationals. That's it. I appreciate you all for tuning in as always, and I will see you in the next show, in the next episode of BD4. Episode 896 is in the books, though. See you soon. Well, if you made it this far, that means you listened to or watched the entire episode. Thank you. Just remember to follow, subscribe, download, rate and review, and all that fun stuff to help out the podcast, and I will see you in the next episode of BD4.